E3 2017 was full of amazing reveals and exceptional demos, but for every Super Mario Odyssey and Spider-Man, there was an equally anticipated game that was nowhere to be found. Here are the biggest missing games from E3 2017. Like its zombie denizens, Dead Island 2 lingers between life and death. It's been 3 years since the game debuted with an awesome trailer, but developer Jaeger was removed from the project. Instead of succumbing to its wounds, Dead Island 2 has seemingly been resurrected by Sumo Digital, the developers behind Little Big Planet 3. So here's hoping Dead Island 2 is just lingering in the shadows until it's ready to jump out and reveal a release date. Michel Ancel's Wild is a game we only get snapshots of, and in January 2017, this oft-teased game gave fans yet another new hint of what's to come. Ride bears, possess birds, and meet a giant snake goddess. And while it's nice to see that Wild is still very much under development, we're no closer to a release date for this prehistoric open-world adventure. Announced 4 years ago, Capcom's free-to-play dungeon-crawling co-op RPG is still a no-show. After bursting out of the gate as a potential launch title for the PlayStation 4, no one has heard anything about the game in years. And while it's tempting to categorize the game as vaporware, Capcom hasn't officially canceled it. Perhaps it will emerge from its long hibernation in time for Gamescom this year. CD Projekt Red made quite the splash with the release of the first Cyberpunk 2077 trailer in January of 2013. True to the Witcher series developers' roots, the trailer reveals a universe of brutal violence and breathtaking beauty. Centered around a police confrontation, the multi-camera trailer depicts a cybernetic woman as both a victim and murderer, a perfect symbol for the moral ambiguity of this futuristic RPG. While CD Projekt Red is renowned for its long development times, we were hoping E3 2017 would be Cyberpunk's time to shine. While Battlefront 2 had a major showing at EA's press conference, another big Star Wars project was notably absent from the show. Visceral's game, led by Uncharted creator Amy Hennig, was completely MIA from E3 2017. Aside from a short teaser at last year's E3, we know very little about the untitled Star Wars game, but given the pedigree behind it, it's already one of our most anticipated games of 2018. Shenmue 3 was one of the big surprises at Sony's conference 2 years ago, and went on to be one of the most successful video game Kickstarters of all time. Since then, we haven't heard much about Ryo's newest immersive, uniquely paced adventure. With Shenmue 2 releasing all the way back in 2001, players have had to be patient in avenging Ryo's father. Expect to wait a little while longer to hear more about this one. Fans who bet the farm on seeing Red Dead Redemption 2 at E3 2017 have come up empty. Since its October 2016 announcement, details on Rockstar's Old West open-world title have been as elusive as a wanted man. In May, Rockstar announced the game would be delayed until 2018, and while the company is known for skipping E3, we still hope to see a bit more of the game at Sony's conference. If Hideo Kojima's bizarre open-world action game was going to make a splash at E3, it would have been during Sony's press conference, but the PlayStation 4 exclusive was a no-show. So we're left to ponder the mystery of Kojima's latest project just a little while longer. Aside from 2 trailers that reveal actors Norman Reedus and Mads Mikkelsen, alongside some horrifying baddies, details about the game's narrative, gameplay, and release window have been remarkably scarce. Kojima is renowned for his ambition and unique vision, but also his disregard for many publishing conventions. The game will be ready when he says it is. Despite its announcement trailer and discussion panel at PSX in December, developer Naughty Dog hasn't revealed much about the sequel to its 2013 award-winning survival horror game. Interviews with Naughty Dog developer and writer Neil Druckmann revealed that the protagonist this time is Ellie, and thematically, we're in for a much darker, revenge-fueled tale. We were hoping to see more of this darker vision at Sony's presentation, but fear not. While Naughty Dog is working on releasing Uncharted: The Lost Legacy this year, expect The Last of Us Part 2 to be put back on the front burner shortly afterwards. The Final Fantasy VII Remake made its debut in 2015's E3, but this year brought us no closer to taking up our Buster Sword once again. In Square Enix's defense, the developer did deliver on its other missing franchise, Final Fantasy XV, and Sony revealed plans to create a fishing game spin-off. But since Final Fantasy XV is already out, and Square Enix released their Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer during the show, it seemed the perfect time for an update on the hotly anticipated remake. But alas, it's anybody's guess as to when we'll be returning to Midgar. Those were some of the biggest games that were notably absent from E3 2017. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to check out the top 10 most anticipated multiplayer games. And for all things video games, keep it right here on IGN.